What's up? Episode 106. Let's have a Monday party. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Not bad. Come on in, get cozy. And 1, 2, 3. There's the vinyl. What's up, people? Come on in, grab a seat, get cozy. I have an awesome show tonight. Oh yeah, now I can see. My name's Cardone. You're here live at evening hour, episode 106. Holy crap. You gotta be kidding me. We got a group in here. I see Peter, William, Angela. Who else is in here? Mark, Achilles, everybody. Come on in. It's cold as hell here too. And it's cozy in here. I got a crazy fun show for you tonight. If you are new and you are watching this, please participate in the chat. This is a chatty show. And I have a blast because it's live and people chat. And if you look, we have a really smart, fun, open-minded, crazy good group in the chat every week. And the more you chat, the more points you get. And then there's prizes with the points. And if you look in the description, you can see all of that. In the meantime, yes, I take donations. That rules. I perform full-time for my living. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is getting those subscriptions up. It's so hard to get subscribers on here. They don't want you to. Literally, the YouTube CEO said that they favor corporate media. Fact. So the little guys, they squelch you until they see that you actually follow the, quote, rules, and they like you. Then they take you off the shadow ban. But anyway, come on in. I got lots of stuff to go through, and tonight we have a special guest. It was kind of not a last-minute thing, but it kind of came together at last second, and I wasn't sure. So the first part, I'm going to talk about some opera stuff that I need to get off my chest. Yes, I'm going to rant. Other than that, I got a guest, and I think you're going to enjoy this. So, normally, I BS until a quarter after, but I think I'm going to get quickly into this. One thing, oh yeah, let me show you what I'm drinking. So, tonight, oh, my mom's in here. What's up, Mama? So, I'm drinking tonight a San Pellegrino drink, Chino. And it's very hard to find this. You can't, you got to go to an Italian market to get this one. This is a bitter. It's one of those bitter sodas that I like. And, you know, you put ice on it, let the ice sit, and good Lord, it's one of the tastiest drinks of all time. Number 2, I haven't bought any new books in a while. And I'm very hesitant to buy these kinds of books. But as some of you know, I'm basically trying to give myself my own degree in philosophy, my own university that I've put together myself, and I've been reading and treating it as such. I do about 3 hours a day. Oh, we got somebody that just dropped a globe. I love it. Come on in. And so, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm reading all the source material. But I wanted to get a book that helped me frame my scholarly approach to learning all things in the philosophy realm. And I found a book right here. They call them Degrees in a Book. And let me tell you what, this book is awesome. It basically breaks down all the main philosophical concepts in very super detail and peppers it with, bios of the famous philosophers and what they came up with. Sherman, come on in, buddy. So anyway, this book is pretty cool. It's going to help me. It lets me know where I'm not at yet. So when I started reading the book, I've been doing my philosophy stuff now for literally a solid year. And I was shocked at how much I knew already. I would consider myself a first-year philosophy. I'm starting my second year. That's how I'm going to look at it. And this is helping me formulate that. Someone just gambled points and lost. There's somebody with a Russian name that keeps jumping up and putting some stuff. I don't know what it says. I don't know if it's a spammer or not. Does anybody know what that is? If you look above on the chat, William Nemitz, iRisk33, there's like a name. There's a blue symbol. I don't know who that is. If you're from Russia and you're trying to write something, it ain't the alphabet ain't coming through. Or it's a spammer. I don't know. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty. And then I got my guest. So last week I went and saw the opera. It was the first of this year. In the last solid year, it's my second time going. I went in the fall to see Tosca with my daughter. And, hey, who's this? Groovy Greets. William, hey, what's up? So we went... Oh, thank you, William. Thank you very much. And so we went and saw Tosca, and it blew my mind. And then for a holiday present, I got my little girl tickets to see one of my favorite operas that I had already seen, The Magic Flute. And I bought the tickets, and I didn't read the fine print. There was some fine print. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. The Magic Flute, and I'll give you a little background of the Magic Flute, just so you know. I actually wrote this down because I'm a major fan of this opera for a myriad of reasons. And if you watch last week's episode, I talk a little bit about it. But it is a Masonic opera in disguise. The whole show is an allegory to mostly 99% all Masonic things. And so, I mean, I like that. I like Mozart. I like the music. I like that it's a fantasy story. I can keep going why I like the show already. So, I'm excited for my daughter to see the show. And when I got the tickets, I saw that it was a new production. Julie Taymor, who directed The Lion King. Now, I have a few friends in the show. I've seen The Lion King. I love it. I think it's one of the greatest Broadway experiences you can get. It's American musical theater done right. And I can talk a little bit about that. But basically, the use of puppetry, stagecraft, and the fact that the story is timeless and the performers are great, you get a golden show that's been on Broadway for, 20 some years now. So Julie Taymor directed this version of The Magic Flute. Die Zauberflöte, notice I don't speak German, is the name of the show. September 30th, 1791 is when it was first put on stage at Schikander's Theater, which Mozart died 2 months later. If you've seen the movie Amadeus, watch the extended cut. There's a massive section where they show a lot of the opera. And Schikaneders. Emanuel Schikaneders is the man who paid for the opera to be made. He also starred in the first production as Papageno, and he ran the theater. And he was very famous at the time, and people really liked the guy. And he wrote the libretto. You see, the Magic Flute is a little different. It's got lots of dialogue. They call them singspiels. So it's like an opera with more dialogue. It spawned 2 sequels, which I didn't know about until today. And I didn't know this. It actually has a little bit of Salieri influence. Salieri in the movie is his enemy. In real life, they weren't enemies. But I believe it's when It's the blip. It's the little pan flutey thing that happens in the show. It's a little nod to Salieri, from what I understand. Little background of the show. But so here I am, sitting in the Met with my daughter. We got like 8th row seats. Some of the best seats I've ever had in the Met. The Metropolitan Opera is literally awe-inspiring. There's 5 balconies. The Magic Flute, H.R. Puffin stuff. Yeah, timeless stuff. Totally, Steven. And I'm sitting in the opera, and I noticed that it's only 2 hours long in the program. I always thought it was it was like 3 hours. All right, what? And just as I'm getting ready to enjoy one of the coolest overtures with a cool build, I realize they cut the overture. Then I realize it's a special presentation. It's a holiday presentation, a family presentation, an abridged version. And then they start singing in English. And I'm like, oh my God, I bought tickets to see the dummy version. I don't want the dummy version. I want Mozart's version. Really, Mozart must have been doing somersaults in his grave. You cut the overture? So right away, I literally, I'm one of those dudes, I lean over to my little girl and I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. They cut the overture. I'm sorry, I wanted you. Like, I was like apologizing. And she's like, no, that's fine. Shh, quiet. Stop it, Dad. You know. So I'm sitting there biting my tongue, and the show starts. The first thing I see, and I don't know if you know this, but the opening scene is a battle with a big snake. It's a puppet. It's Julie Taymor. It's kind of a cheap-looking puppet, too. It doesn't have the girth and, what's the word? Grandiosity. I don't know what word I'm looking for. The epicness of a giant serpent. It looks like a puppet, and, you know. And then within minutes in the show, there are people with sticks, strings, and birds. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in The Lion King, they use lots of sticks with strings and birds for effect. And ever since The Lion King, I see a lot of shows with sticks, strings, and birds. And I've had it. I don't need to see anymore. I've seen a million shows in Burning Man weirdos with things with sticks with birds on them. So we got this, we got that, and now I'm just getting used to hearing English. I didn't want to hear English. The 3, what are they called in the show? They're like 3 witches, but they're not witches. They're like 3 muses. What are they called in the directions? The 3 ladies. They're basically like 3 spirit witch types. And they come down, and their faces are blacked out, and they've got a mask above their head. Very similar to Lion King. Lion King has the same thing. They make their faces abstract, and the mask of the character they're playing is here. Now, in The Lion King, those masks, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, they're on a robotic gadget they hold in their hands. So when Scar wants to be mean, he hits a button, and it goes down to a little lower, and it looks a little more intimidating. So they puppet a bit the mask. The 3 women in the show take them off and hold them in their hands. And I'm going to tell you now, bad puppetry. Bad. If you're going to hold a mask and you're going to talk and do lines and sing, you have to be a puppeteer. And I mean, that's one of the, that's where it started to just go down for me. I was like, oh. I don't know if I've ever done a show on just the notion of why clever to me kills art. And I always say, not organic clever, things that come out of an organic process that appear to be a clever, interesting idea. But clever meaning, I'm going to foist this idea onto it because it's my idea no matter what and make it work. And to me, that's what this puppetry thing is. So far as I can see is she's a puppet director. There's going to be puppets in the show. And there's going to be opera performers doing them. So I'm not having it yet. I'm a little like, there's so many things adding up here. Now, whilst this is going on, the music and the orchestra are off the charts. It's Mozart. It's the Magic Flute. The songs are awesome. The singers were great. Act One, I remember, here, I took some notes. So, big one, the set. So, because of the Masonic influence, and I do believe in the stage directions, it says the show takes place in Egypt. People don't always use an Egyptian theme. They made the show look very cultish. There's a point where they go to a temple, and it looks like some weird Egyptian cult with Dadaistic art costumes. If you study the Dadaism phase of art, you'll see some very peculiar costumes, and I saw that in the show. I mean, clearly the influence is there. I didn't like the set at all. It hurt my brain. It was the most jarring. It was these cubes that spun, and it just seemed very clunky and jarring and not beautiful. Awe-inspiring. The end of the show had a pretty awe-inspiring symbol of the sun that I thought was good, but to me, the awe-inspiring moment of the show are the damn songs and the solos and the notes and the music and the swirling orchestra. Without that, I would have left. I literally would have been like, I've had it. I want my money back. So, the dumbed down version. Yeah, exactly. No, I was like, the abridged dummy version? I like that operas are long. I want a 3-4 hour opera. I bought a very expensive ticket. I am there to sit. Oh, this is how I figured out it was in English. Every seat in the Met has a little screen with the subtitles. So that's the best part of the show. The lights go dim. There's a little thing that's like, hit the button to start, and then you can pick your language. And I'm like, well, it's not working. And then I hear, help me. And I'm like, oh my God, they're singing in English. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. My little girl liked the show, obviously. But I'm going to be honest. It was the first opera I had seen that it wasn't my thing. It made me want to see it again, the older version. So what did I do? I went home, and hey, what's up, Josh? Josh H. And Ruby's in here. Hey, what's up? So it made me want to watch a production. And I don't watch TV. I watched only a handful of movies last year. So I set my TV up, which is big. I set up my sound system, which is big. I have 6 large speakers, 7, as part of my stereo. And I run the movies through it. I wanted to listen and watch the overture. And there's the BBC version on YouTube. It's the first one that pops up. It's the whole thing, the whole opera. I want to show you one song from it right now, and then give you a little review of... So I ended up watching the overture, and by God, I watched all 3 hours. It's fantastic. I'd like to show you right now. It's pretty much the hit song of the opera. If you know opera, you'll know it. If you don't, what's up, Ruth? I told you there ain't no notifications. You can click notify, and you're not going to get them because it shadow bans you. That's just the way it is. YouTube's pretty bad. So this is the pop hit of the show. I'm going to show you right now. This is Act 2. You just realize that one of the characters is actually kind of a bad guy, and she's talking her daughter into killing the male hero. Now, this show is not a tragedy. It is a fantasy, and it's actually kind of lighthearted, and I'll talk about it quickly. Here, check this out. This is Queen of the Night aria. This is some serious soprano stuff here. Check it out. what to say. That is freaking insanely amazing. It is inhuman. So, first of all, the version that is on YouTube in its entirety has no subtitles. And I watched the whole thing with no subtitles. You don't need them. The acting is good. The sets were simple and not cockamamie. They treated the Masonic stuff as if it was real. They made it look like real Masonic stuff, which I thought was a neat twist. They also, the character of Papagino, who's kind of the comedic foil of the show, he, in the Met production, played him like Harlequino, the Commedia dell'arte stock character, like Bugs Bunny. He's kind of wily and, you know, funny. Whereas in this production that I just showed you, they play him like a, what's the word? He's kind of innocent. He's kind of like, he's not wily. He's like an everyman innocent guy and kind of sympathetic almost. Anywho, the Queen is terrifying. The lead man in the show, in the BBC version, everything was better on a level that it was uncanny. Now, I'm not going to say that the Met singers were bad. They're great. I'm basically criticizing the director. And to me, the director is the helm of the ship. They're the captain. They're the general of the army. If the army fails, it's the general's fault. For me, the show failed, but without the music, it would have really failed. And Mozart's music, you can't mess with it. They did take the libretto, the dialogue, and change it a bit and let the actor, the comedic guy, improv. And he did make a Twitter joke. I mean, it's okay. That doesn't bother me so much, but I don't know. I was not into it. I thought that it was very tastefully done. They did use some mask work in this production. They didn't use puppet work per se. They used mask work. And to me, an actor putting a mask on is probably going to do a better job than if you give an actor a puppet. Even though they're similar, because if you're wearing a puppet, or a mask, you're puppeting it with your body. When you have a mask or a puppet, you're using your hand to puppet it and tell the actions of what it's thinking. So I think if you give an actor a mask, he's going to have a lot more success. And yes, they did. Exactly. If you don't, I was taught in school, you should be able to take any play and put a piece of thick glass between you and the audience, and they can't hear a damn thing, and you know exactly what's going on. That's the test. And so if an opera's good, you don't need to know what the hell's going on. You'll figure it out. Same with Shakespeare. If you have a really good Shakespearean actor, they're speaking a foreign language that they're going to get you to understand. And so I saw that in that. If you want to trip out, pour a drink, roll a really large one, watch the 3 hours Magic Flute that's on YouTube. It's BBC Royal Opera House. You're going to love it. The music's going to blow your mind. Go online, read the synopsises of each scene, and you'll know the gist of what's going on. And I promise you, you'll enjoy it. The Met, if you want to see an opera, go see Tosca. Go see La Boheme. Go see, I mean, they're endless. There's so many good ones. All right, let's get to the meat. I have a guest here. It's a female. She's sitting right here. Before I bring her on, someone just said, Rick Sherman just said, Citizen Kane should be watched with the sound off. See? Excellent. I think they've used that song in many things. It's I would say top 10 famous opera songs. I would definitely put it there. So I'm gonna bring out a guest. She's a good friend of mine for many years. I think I've known you 6-7 years now at least. We've done a million shows together. She's done shows that I've produced. We've also been in shows somebody else produced, and then some. And right now she's in a production by a company called Company XIV, and they do, I would say, they basically do a quote sort of ballet that is a little risque and very kind of downtown New York, but done, well, I don't even want to explain it. I'm going to show you a trailer of the show that she's in right now, and you'll see. It ain't no joke. Check it out. There we go. Technical error. So, anywho, that's the trailer of the show. As you can see, it's like a dark, seedy ballet done on steroids. And here's a little clip of my guest in the actual show. Check it out. This is a little clip.
Either way, they don't have to say none. Give me all the blame now. Yeah, let me entertain ya. They don't have to say none. Show you how to play now. Let me dinner either way.
Oh, there she is. It's like a magic trick. Lillian, everybody.
Hello.
Lillian, welcome. What's up?
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. She's from down under. So, folks, we're going to be talking some showbiz, and you can ask questions because I met her via the burlesque world, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what gig we met at? First of all, can you hear us? Make sure. Let us know if the sound's a little wacky. Of course you would see this show, Ruth. You would love it.
Yeah.
Wait, what show did we meet at?
Shock Bite at our bar downtown the Bowery.
Was I emceeing or in the show?
You were emceeing, and I was asked to do it because I did a Metallica act. That was one of my first ever acts, was Metallica.
You did a Metallica burlesque act?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you should work with Carter, and this will be great. Great, like, yeah. So that was...
Oh, here we go. Mark Muggsy. He's from down under.
Ah.
There you go.
Whereabouts?
There's a delay.
Damn.
He'll answer.
Okay.
So I met you emceeing a show downtown.
Yeah, and the bar's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone?
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you can hear both of it. Oh, good. Peter says the sound is good.
Okay.
Thank you, Peter. Peter, you would love that show. He lives in Brooklyn, I believe. Oh, good. Thank you, Ruth. So I met you there, and then we just started doing shows and around town.
Yep.
Now, tell them a little bit about your background, because for me, I met you, and you were doing burlesque, right? But she's bendy, and I mean super bendy. She could, like, bend her leg over her head. And I said, yo, you're a contortionist. And you're like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, yes, you are. And then, yeah, I mean, we've done a million shows.
Yeah.
So tell me how you got into dancing. And
It's a long story.
we're here. No.
So I noticed Mark is from the Gold Coast.
Okay.
So I'm from right outside the capital in Australia, which is...
They're telling you to stand up. They want to see your outfit. So we're doing a photo shoot, too, which is funny because she's like, should I just wear this? And I'm like, yeah, I mean...
Actually, this is my normal clothes. This is what I would wear around my house.
Well, we're going to talk about that a little
Okay.
bit because she does dress up all the time.
So I'm from outside of Canberra, which is the capital of Australia. In
Okay.
A tiny...
Wait. The capital of Australia is what?
Canberra.
See, people, I thought it was Sydney.
No.
Oh,
No.
did you guys know that? Canberra?
Canberra. It's Aboriginal. It's Indigenous for meeting place. And so when they were trying to figure out a capital for Australia, they couldn't decide between Sydney or Melbourne, so they went right in the middle.
Ah!
And they called it Canberra.
My mom says she can't hear you. Hold on. Just scooch up just a little bit. Thank you, Mama. But Mama, you might have a bad speaker. Canberra. All right, so you're from there.
Yeah,
Which is that good because you can go to both cities?
It's like a 4-hour to Sydney, and you end up doing that. It's the thing where you want to make it on Broadway, you move to New York.
I see.
So you move to Sydney.
I see.
So I'm from a tiny town no traffic lights, kangaroos.
No traffic lights?
No.
Kangaroos?
A stop sign, a one sheriff town, you know.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so tiny, tiny country town. So I would have to catch the school bus to go to high school and
Okay.
yeah.
And where's the dancing there?
So, it's just one of those things. I was 6 years old and all I wanted to do was be a performer. I just wanted to do ballet. And I was, as far as I can remember, I remember having this ballet book called Angelina Ballerina. It's about a mouse that wants to be ballerina.
I think I know this
Yeah,
book.
and the final page is a cross-section of a old-timey theater. You see the orchestra pit and you see, it's like a complete cross-section. And I was obsessed with that.
I see.
I actually have it framed on my wall.
Wow.
That was one of the earliest memories. So I've always wanted this old-timey theatrical career. And so I started with ballet. And I did that in a tiny church hall in my town. Freezing cold, and no one else took it seriously.
So you started with ballet.
I started ballet.
That's why you're good.
Oh no.
No, but I'm serious. That is one of the, because that's the hardest one to make look good.
It is, and I talk to a lot of musicians as well. And
Yeah.
Classical. If you train classically, then you can
Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
This is why I wanted her on, because we can BS about this kind of stuff. Because I feel the same thing about a lot of, and I don't mean you have to go to school for it, but if you start with the hard stuff, it makes you have a baseline in which you can grow from.
Yes.
And to me, ballet is like the violin. I always use the violin as the model instrument, because think of how dumb and easy the piano is. The piano, if you're a violin player and they invented the piano, you're like, oh my God, you can go boo and make perfect tone with
That's
the button.
how I feel about the trumpet.
But the trumpet,
you have to listen to change keys and all of that.
well, the trumpet you have to push. It's so weird how what you do with the trumpet. So the piano though, you go like this. C, right? So the violin though, because there's no frets, and your finger can just move a little bit, you can make it sound like the human voice. It's so subtle. Same with ballet. To me, ballet, the hard part's the arms.
Yes.
I'm looking at, when I see people with weird arms, I'm like, they didn't study ballet.
That and the head, spotting the head.
Oh, yeah.
Feet. You can tell from a mile away.
It gives you a poise and a grace.
It does.
That doesn't work with if you started with modern. Or a hip hop project.
I see it with gymnasts too. I'm like, if you just studied ballet, you could have that extra.
Yes, like the Magician's
line.
Handbook. Yeah, I mean, with sleight of hand, it's the same thing. People start with trick decks of cards, or you start with a real deck and learn all the hard stuff. And then, when you add the gadget in later, you have a baseline of sleight of hand technique to hold it up.
Right.
That's, to me, why. There you go. Now we know why you're good. You started with that. There's a lot of burlesquers that you're like, man, they should have taken ballet. You can see it.
Well, but it's also, it's your perspective on what. To me, burlesque is like playing the guitar. Okay, which style of guitar do you play? There are some people that can only play this, can only play that, and there are people that can do it all.
Correct. Now, what do you think's better?
I've seen some of the best burlesque dancers I've ever seen have very minimal costuming. It's inexpensive. And have little to no training, but it comes from here.
Right. Okay.
And they give it all out on stage.
Right. I've
seen
too.
people that have transitioned from ballet, but they have the
fail.
technique, but they don't have the heart.
Right.
So
see, she's smart. You need both. No, but you need both of those.
You need life experience.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're nailing all the bases I talk about on this show.
It's like being an actor. When I moved to Sydney. I eventually moved to Sydney, and I had a singing teacher for a little bit, and I was so mad my parents didn't put me into musical theater school. This very expensive musical theater school. Because I went to a very, very public school. And
me too.
And my singing teacher was like, that's where the best actors come from. Because
where?
Public school.
Oh, because they suffered a bit.
You suffered.
Yes.
You lived,
Dude, I always remind people, all the cool art forms weren't invented by rich people.
No.
It's funny, folks, I wrote that once on Facebook, that all the great art forms were invented by poor people, and you should have seen the rich shits that commented. How dare you? This artist was wealthy. I'm like, I didn't say it wasn't possible, but it's not the same.
No.
You don't want to hear about someone whining about losing $100 million. You want to hear someone whining about losing their girlfriend, their boyfriend, being poor. You don't want to,
Yeah. All music's that, like, rapped, everything. It's like, you
it came
start
from poor
the bottom
people.
And you
Yeah.
go to the top. Yeah. Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I worked in a factory when I was in Sydney.
There you go. So wait, so now you're doing ballet as a little kid. You're like, I love this. I want to do this.
Yep.
You work your way up on the ballet totem or whatever.
I did, but I also, and I still struggle with this, loving everything. I loved acting. I was obsessed with Michael Jackson and Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson.
I like how you put an R at Paula Abdul's name.
Paula?
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul?
Yeah, there's an R there.
Paula Abdul?
Yeah, but with the Aussie accent, there's an R in it.
Is there?
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul. And, you know, that kind of jazz, you know, big theatrical music videos, and I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do modern, and I wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out where to go.
What your vibe was.
And I was always too sexual. I wanted to wear glitter, and I wanted to wear fishnets, and I wanted to wear boas.
So you like camp too, which is the bigness of it all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get it, dude.
And
I'm the same. I agree.
remember
That's why we get along.
I know it, and it sounds odd to a lot of people because burlesque is so sexual, and for a young girl to be dreaming of this sounds odd, but it's not that for me. It was, I remember dancing around my living room and just having the two curtains and thinking it was this intimate stage with red velvet curtains.
You didn't even know what burlesque was then, maybe.
No.
Yeah, you knew
it was a vibe.
It was a vibe, right?
It was a
But you didn't know
vibe.
exactly what it was, but you knew the vibe. Yeah.
It was a vibe, and I used to bring out a boa, and I used to like drape it around me, and I envisioned a spotlight and these little tables, and then flash forward, I come to New York, and there's the slipper room. I'm like, that's it.
What
That's
year is
it.
this?
I'm coming on to my 10th year.
So
2013.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like last week for me.
It's flown by.
Well, but in 2013, where was I? Huh. Okay. Yeah, I was I was already there.
Skating down the Bowery on your
Skating down the Bowery to the slip room.
That's where I used to work on.
I used to visit you there.
Yeah, at
you
Betty
worked
Page.
Yes, she worked at the Betty Page clothing store. I remember that skateboard by. I would drop my kids off at school, and then I would skate around the hood, and you were there, and I'd come hang out and kill time. I remember now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because that was another thing. I was
forgot
always
about that.
obsessed with, once again, not knowing anyone, but like black boots and like fishnets and
Yeah.
that kind of dark energy. And then I was really into like rock and roll and.
But wait, how did you get here?
So.
Yeah, because you did a gig that got you here.
No.
No.
Well, okay.
You can give the abbreviated version.
So, I couldn't figure out which direction. Once again, never heard of burlesque.
Yeah.
But it was a vibe, and I moved to Sydney.
Look, Ruth says, we are born who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And so I moved to Sydney, and I was so unfulfilled trying to just make it as a commercial dancer there. And just trying to,
What does that mean? That means your agent sends you and you're in a rap video or you're in a background at a commercial. And if you're lucky, you get something big, but it's rare. I get it.
It's rare because in New York, you have a much larger chance of doing that.
Yeah.
You could wait tables, but you could still get an audition every day for something.
Yeah.
When I was in Sydney, it was nothing. And you still had to have a job, so like waiting tables.
Yeah.
And then maybe you get a call.
Oof.
And you have to try and finagle with your boss to get out of it.
Yeah.
And it was just, I didn't find my groove at all.
Yeah.
And what happens with a lot of dancers, you'll audition for a cruise ship and you get it.
And you're like, I'm
you've
out.
You've enlisted for like...
Yeah, it's like joining the army.
Kind
Yeah.
of. And I,
And how long did you
not
do that?
comparing at all. Anytime from 2007 to 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Someone offered me one once. A guy met me and was like, why aren't you working on cruises? You're perfect. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I can help you. So I'm like, all right. And he goes, your act is fine. You're ready to go. Send me your promo stuff. So I sent him all the promo stuff. And a week later, he goes, okay, you're great. You're better than 90% of these dudes. But you need a hairstylist and a new wardrobe and a new fashion. And I was like, oh, yo, whoa, wait, stop. Excuse me? He goes, yeah, you need to update and look modern. And I went like this.
Oh, no.
Bye.
No.
I literally was like,
Yeah.
you can go fuck yourself. I've had enough. Bye. That was it. I was like, no. He wanted me to like do at the time was pleated jeans,
Yep.
the untucked shirt
cape?
look. No cape. I would have liked that. That's okay.
Okay.
He wanted me to start wearing go to a new hairstylist that would give me a modern hair look. I was like, F you, buddy. Out. Not happening. I was like, you don't get what gets me my work.
Yeah.
I was like, I get work because of how I comb my hair, so. I like it.
Well, see, that's why. So I was 18 and living in Sydney, and I just was like,
Yeah, you need to get out.
I had to get out, and I never went to college. I made that a very cognitive decision early on in my
Just
life. Just work, because you have such little time
Yeah.
as a performer.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go into a lifetime of debt.
Yeah. You made the right decision.
I'm very
you just
like,
started
it's
working.
hands-on.
Yeah.
It's hands-on. You learn on the job.
Yeah.
And then...
What was the boat gig, though? Like, what was the show?
So, I have a fear of auditioning. I have dyscalculia.
Oh, that's right. That's what it's called. What is it? Dyscalculia?
Dyscalculia, I believe.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
That's why I had to go to special school.
And when you said that, I was like, oh my God, someone else.
Yeah, I had to go to special school.
So I really struggle with numbers. It's almost like
Me too.
Dyslexia, but with numbers.
Yeah, I have the same. That's
For
me.
the longest time, I can't remember my address. I was like, is it 6?
I still add on my fingers.
Yeah, me
and,
too.
I mean, I can't.
Me too.
If you say what's 5 plus 4, I go like this.
Me too.
8. Oh, 9. See?
And I was terrified coming
Exactly.
to America because I don't know how to tip. I was like, oh my God, how do I figure out 10%?
Oh, yeah.
And then someone was like, just
Move
do
the
that with
decimal.
the
You know the 9 times trick?
No.
I'm going to change her life right now.
Oh,
Look, see
God.
this?
All right.
9 times 7. You put down your 7th finger.
Uh-huh.
Look. 63. Watch.
Oh.
9 times 8 is what? How many fingers are there? Oh, look. 7, 2.
Oh,
72.
oh my God,
9
okay.
times 4.
30.
36. Okay.
Oh. So that has been a big thing in my life. And especially with auditions.
Yeah.
Because you're in a room with 50 other people and they're like...
They all hate you?
They teach the combination so fast.
Yeah.
And you got to pick it up. You got to know the counts. And then perform it.
Yeah,
And I
auditioning's
really-
a different skill.
I really struggled with that. And what I found a lot of the time, the people that weren't good could pick it up. And then they would get the job.
And then they sucked and
And
they have to learn how to do it.
They peak. Where I need a second, go back, really find the nuances in it, and then I can come back.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked self-tapes. And that's how I got the cruise ship. I just put everything I could do on a cruise ship. And then what happened was I had severe anxiety in the rehearsal process because you had to learn 3 shows in 3 weeks. And it's intense.
How about your new show, though?
See, that is very what can you do? It's very collaborative.
I see. So when he's choreographing,
Yeah.
because it's that show that she's in is very kind of a specific vibe.
Yeah.
And the director's famous for that vibe.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So when he's choreographing, he knows what you're good at
Yeah.
and uses that
Yeah.
as his.
Yeah.
See, that's cool.
And it's relaxed. And it's like,
Wow.
you'll get it. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay, so that's
That's
great.
what
That's
I
why the
need.
show's good then.
Yeah.
I've seen the show, not this new one, but I've seen the show and it is good.
Yeah, he hires people that have a specific skill.
He knows their strength.
And you've got it, you'll get it.
Well, there was a few people
know?
in one of your productions, I won't say who, that's a little sour, and they worked with them and made them okay. Some variety type acts.
Oh, okay.
You know who I'm talking about. So anywho.
But yeah, so auditions were very why don't you have it? You should have this by now. And the
Right.
anxiety, whatever. But once you get on the ship, that was to me one of the most culturally enriching things I've ever done in my life. Because I never went to college. You're in a bunk bed below sea level.
This was your college.
And you're with people, working with people from all over the world.
This was your first year of college, yeah.
You learn empathy. You're talking with people from the Philippines to someone from Norway, and I have friends all over the world. You're dancing with live musicians.
Yeah, that's
I
the real
hung out
thing.
with the band, you know.
Yeah.
And I just had a ball.
Yeah.
And I traveled the world, and it really built up my chops as a dancer.
I'm sure.
Because you're dancing on a rocky boat.
Oh yeah,
You
I
have to
never
do quick
thought of that.
changes,
You can feel it moving.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You'll be like, whoa.
You'll see swinging.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah, and you have to go do it. You have to learn how to survive at sea. You have to learn how to.
Did you get seasick?
Never.
Because I've had it where I can feel it kind of coming. I'll get like this weird
I
woozy,
get queasy.
and you're like, whoa, and then you
Yeah.
can go up and look at the horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say not to lie down, but I lied down, and it made me feel so much better.
I've done about a dozen cruises, but day cruise. And I get on the boat and I come home at night.
Yeah.
And so those, doing magic on them, I was fine, but I had a couple times where I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that will really, really test you, and it will make or break you. Some people just were like, I can't do this. I have to leave. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, surviving at sea, learning how to put out fires, learning how to save lives. So once I hit, 2012, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore because it's a corporate machine at the end of the day.
Yeah, they got to make money.
You have to be in two straight lines, no nail polish, no sense of, like what they said with your hair. It's very strict.
Oh my God. Well, with magicians,
here's your
even
manual.
Yeah, but you know what they do to the magicians? They'll say, "All right, you're on the boat for a week, but you only do shows Friday and Saturday, but you have to be in the nightclub 3 nights a week as a boat celebrity schmoozing." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no drinking, no smoking, and you can't touch any of the ladies. I was like,
Yep.
all right, so I'm on there for what, months on end?
Yeah.
And I have to pretend like, oh, no. Then they
Yeah.
make now performers work as waiters now. That's a new one. And they make them teach workshops. And they like make you do stuff now.
My first cruise ship was P&O Australia, and it's now, I think it's gone. It was like a sister company of Princess. That was built in 86, and
Wow.
it was like a rusty tugboat, and I had to work in the library. And you're forever sanitizing, like...
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the army of performing.
Yeah, like I really earned my stripes.
I know people that still do magic on cruise. I mean, they love it. I would not be able to do it forever.
I know a lot of dancers still there because...
You wouldn't do it again, though.
I can't.
Yeah.
That chapter's closed.
It's too much, right?
I just want to be myself. I had such a clear vision of what I wanted to do.
If they hired you to be yourself, you would do it. If it was like, we want you to do your own act.
Do a burlesque act. Yeah. I could never go back as a dancer.
So when you came here, you're like off the boat, done with that.
Yeah.
That was what you were leaving.
Yes.
And then how did it go from that to the burlesque?
So a few years prior to that, this vibe, this feeling of burlesque just was stronger and stronger, but I didn't know how to pinpoint it. I didn't know what it was, but I was obsessed with corsets and old-timey...
Yeah, gloves and boots.
Gloves
Yeah.
But something with technique, but I could still do what I wanted.
Yes.
No one could tell me what to do, and something sexualized.
Yeah.
Because I remember dancing on the cruise ships, and they were like, "You should be a stripper," because I was just too, And a lot of those girl dancers didn't know how to touch themselves. They were just like,
well, it's funny because
6.
most of the strippers, the stripper dance thing is not burlesque.
Yeah.
See, this is what people don't understand. We've both been around both worlds a lot and seen it. And for me, the thing about a strip club specifically is it's not about going to see a show. I call it the fake, I'm going to try to pick up a fake girlfriend experience. Meaning, guys like to be flirty with girls, and at the strip club, as soon as they're done doing the pole part, they kind of hang out and try to get you to buy them drinks, and you can flirt with them a little bit and tip them. To me, that's what a strip club is. It's not the show. It's that. That's the selling point. The lap dance and the hangout talking. The fake girlfriend. That's what it is. Burlesque, that does not exist. Right? That's not in anything in Slipper Room. No way. It's a show, and that is it. There's even the go-go dancing part, where after the show's over at Slipper Room, you go-go dance, and people tip you. But that's it.
Yeah.
There ain't no, hey, go buy me a drink. That doesn't exist. That's weird. You don't get money when you sell a drink at the Slipper Room. You know? It's like a weird little...
I know. And it's, for me, I would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's a different gig. That's not the same. Burlesque is putting on your show. It's you. That's why it's cool.
I know, and it's so crazy because I hear I love stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I listen to a lot of stand-up comics and how they talk about their process and things like that. And a lot of them say, I cannot believe I get up on stage and I just, it's like my journal opens in my mind.
You spill
and
your
I
guts.
Spill my guts out.
That's what burlesque
And that's
is.
what it
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't go back to the slipper room for a year, because I was like, I'm not ready. I have something to say.
Oh, you haven't been back since COVID had started.
I'm coming back in February.
Wow, I've been there a year. I mean, I started last spring.
I just couldn't go back because I wasn't ready. I didn't want to go on stage.
Are you doing something new or no?
Yeah, brand new.
So we talk. This is how this show happened tonight. As I mentioned to her, remember last week? I think we were talking. We were both saying that it takes me a long time to add a new act. A lot of people have new stuff all the time. I am not like that.
No.
I have routines that I've been working on for 3-4 years that are still not ready. And so you're the same.
Yeah, and I've done that, but I feel like, and going back to stand-up comedy, people in the audience know when you're faking, trying to be funny, or
Yeah, they know what
you're trying to be somebody else.
Sincerity when faked is hard.
Yeah.
I can smell it.
Yeah, and I've done it, and I feel fake. And so sometimes you'll get a gig where you're like, can you go out there and do 3 minutes? And you're like, oh, okay. And you go out and you do it.
Yeah, you don't feel it.
And it's fine, but you don't feel it. And I didn't want to go back till I could do something with integrity and some art. And it took like a broken heart and a whole year for me to come back and go, okay.
Yeah, it's art. You're an artist. Yeah, that's... Well, listen, I was at Slipper Room 2 weeks ago working, and I forget who was there. It was somebody new. And I said, how freaking cool is it that every single act that is on the stage tonight, and there were 10, because it's 4 or 5 in the first half and 4 or 5 in the second, right? Every one of those acts, the owner, James, giving you a shout out, never says, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Never!
No.
Once he likes you and knows you're good, that's it. He's like, go do your thing.
Yeah.
You're an artist.
And that's what I've dreamt of my whole life. And that's why I never want to audition again. Because if you're good, you tell your friend. Like, if someone said to me, do you know a magician? I'm like, yeah. I know magicians and musicians.
Yeah.
And it's word of mouth. And it's this trust.
Yeah.
And he's like cultivating somebody's art and being like, go.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going through in life right now, let it out.
Yeah, in showbiz, there's very few opportunities where you can let your freak flag fly all the way.
Yeah.
And in the burlesque world, I will say, you can.
You can.
In the stripper world, you cannot. There are rules.
I went to
They won't even
Nashville.
let tattoos in most of the strip. They're called gentlemen clubs. They don't do tattoos because a lot of those girls are escorts and they have to look a certain way. That's real. That's definitely real.
Well, Nashville, I just came back from there, and I couldn't do burlesque there.
Why?
Because you're not allowed to wear, you're not allowed to show your underboob.
You're not allowed to show underboob.
Yeah.
Wow.
In a venue that serves alcohol, but they all serve alcohol because that's how you make money.
So there's
and
no underboob.
And you're not allowed to wear a G-string. So these girls.
No G-string?
Yeah. So I did a show out in Memphis, which was fine, perfectly fine.
Wow.
I get to Nashville, and they have these zoning laws.
Boom! Look at this. Once you can fake sincerity, you can get away with anything, Danny Kaye. Wow. But what if you're really good at smelling it?
Well, that's why some of the best actors can just turn it on, and then they're done. They go to lunch. Yeah. And it's crazy, but I'm not like that.
Well, some of those people also are cold. It looks warm, but if you actually get to know them, they're a little bit like a robot. I've met people like that.
They're the girls that can pass auditions.
Yeah, they go into robot mode.
Yeah. And I was too artistic for that. I couldn't be put into a mold.
Well, it's ironic that you're in the best burlesque show, and the Company XIV is one of the top of the line shows. So obviously your plan worked.
Yes.
Meaning you got to be yourself, and they're like, we like you. Dude, nobody hires me unless they like me. I mean, all my gigs, that's all I get. I mean, they're like, we like you and what you already do, and just, no one goes, you need to do 2 card tricks and then a coin trick. No one tells me that, and if they did, I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I decide in the moment what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's what I love about it, and that's why I've stayed for so long, because I'm like, this is something I wished and, like, prayed for when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because my mind was so working overtime to keep up with mathematics and times and counts. I was like, can someone just give me a job where I can do what I do?
Yeah. Oh, it exists. It's just rare.
But I had to go to New York and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
that's when my life began.
I will say, if you are a variety artist, I can't think of another city because I've been to LA. I've seen their burlesque shows. It is not the same.
I see a lot of dancers write to me and they're like, I'm a dancer and I want to get into this because I'm tired of the regiment of dance.
But the problem is the cashola.
Right. And I'm like, learn a skill. Learn to juggle on a unicycle or something that'll set you apart from everyone else.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like she does that quote, not Danny Kaye. Oh, it is? Oh. You do contortion-y things, but you also do roping now. You started doing the roping.
Yeah, I've done roping for many years, but I did have an act. I did it at your show, Rockaway, at the Surf Lifesaving Club.
Wait a second.
It was She Rides by...
Oh, at the surf club.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did a burlesque show at the surf club, and I remember that. But when we did Wits, you did not do that.
No. Because I had severe stage fright because I want it to be good.
No, I got you.
Know when you do a trick, you like it cannot.
It has to be good.
It can't fail.
I agree.
And once again, I was faking it. I was doing something that didn't come from the heart. And so when quarantine happened and all of last year happened, a light came on and I completely changed my whole idea.
Wow.
And then one day I'm in there drilling.
The lasso.
Can
I pause? Lassoing, meaning holding a rope, making the loop cowboy style, is so freaking hard.
So hard.
No one knows. When they're standing there just doing this with a circle, you don't understand how hard that is. It is 10 times harder than cracking bullwhips or anything because not only do you have to move in a circle, you have to twist it too. You don't. When I tried learning it, I was shocked at how hard it is. It's why there's so few. In New York, I only know you and 2 others. Well, Bradford does it a little bit. But the only professional ropers I know are Angelo and Cowboy Chris. Who else?
And Harold.
Who the hell's Harold?
You don't know Harold?
Harold who?
I'll show you.
What's his look though?
He's more clowning. So he's
Harold.
unicycle, juggling.
Wait, what's his full name?
Mueller.
Yes.
Mueller?
I've gigged with him. I think I've gigged with him.
Fabulous.
I didn't know he roped.
Yeah. Oh, amazing trick roper. Really, really good.
I mean, I tried learning it. It was like, whoa, that's hard.
Because the minute you mess it up, it's like...
It all falls apart.
Yeah, but he's really good at messing it up, but like fixing it.
Yeah.
And he's beyond my level.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
Wow. So, any future crazy stuff you haven't planned? I mean, you have some acts that you're going to bust out, but...
Yeah. I'm going to bring out my Firemen Act that I've been talking about for years.
I feel like I've seen it, but it's only because you've mentioned it.
I've never done it.
I know, I've heard
like,
you.
Little bit. So I'm building a fire engine, and I'm going to save a cat out of a tree.
Is this the one that was going to be used for the Coney stuff?
Yes.
Okay, I want.
But I'm going to do a better version.
Are you going to do that again or no?
Yes.
You're going to go for that again?
Yeah,
Miss
September
Coney
24th.
So she's going to...
we just got a date.
September 24th, the day before my birthday. And Real Man's now the boss, so I probably will go.
Yeah.
She's going to try for the Miss Coney Island pageant, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've missed out 3 years.
If you don't win, I'll be shocked just because you do embody Coney Island.
Oh, do I?
It's a little political there.
Oh, I love Coney. I love it.
I do too.
The history and everything.
It's the first of a lot of things.
Yeah, when I moved to New York, I'm like, I'm home. Like, I found
I went to Coney Island like day 2 or 3 of moving here. I literally got in the train by myself and rode it to Coney Island.
Because it's like the Warriors.
It was beyond that. When I moved in, I was in 1995. Coney Island was pretty rough. It was sketchy, but it was beautiful. And there were illegal tattoo parlors and all sorts of fun stuff. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm home.
I know. It's sideshow. It's everything.
It's everything. The sideshow was on the boardwalk then. And there was a sideshow museum owned by Bobby Reynolds, who's, I don't know if there's any sideshow weirdos. These are like living legends. Wow. So, yeah, I got to get you back out here to do my shows. And you're not at Slipper Room this week, are you?
No, I'll be premiering.
The new act?
Yeah, February 10th.
What day is that?
I think it's a Thursday night at midnight.
Thursday?
I think so.
Ooh.
Or Friday.
If it's Friday, I'll come. If it's Thursday, I will
I'm
not.
so nervous. It's a what?
It's a Thursday. There we go. That's Jack. Jack is in the other room. It ended up, because of this neighborhood's filled with so many artists and crazy types, it ended up turning into a photo shoot with my friend, Jack Roman, who's in the other room right now. Get ready to shoot more photos. Wow. Okay. Well, this is all good, man. Did you have fun?
I did. This is my first.
You've never done a live
Never.
internet-y thing?
Never.
Wow.
I did a couple like shows, dancing in my living room during the pandemic, but
It didn't feel like this, though.
No, not talking.
Oh, yeah, you don't talk
I
in your
don't
acts,
talk.
ever.
Never. I want to.
You do?
Yeah, I love acting. Yeah, but I would do an accent.
An accent? An American? She's always doing American accents.
Poorly.
I mean, it's hard to fool me because I know you, but you might be able to fool somebody. Say hamburger.
Hamburger.
That was perfect. What's another really not Aussie word? Oh, say, I'm going to go downtown today.
I'm going to go downtown. No, I can't say that. I can't wait. I'm going to go downtown.
Say it again?
I'm going to go downtown.
That's pretty good. Downtown.
It needs more like something with a jaw.
Now say it with your Aussie accent.
I'm going to go downtown.
That's not Aussie.
I'm going to go downtown?
Yeah, but say it with a Bogan accent.
I'm going to go downtown.
Yeah, it's twangier and got
It goes up
a...
at the end.
I love it. Sherman, can you dig it? Yeah, all right, cool. Well, I don't know what else to do. You're going to shoot photos, and I'm going to hang out and watch, and then we'll hang out and bullshit, which is what we do.
That's what we do.
I
got my favorite Ramones mug.
Yeah, and I've got a cup of ice water and this. Folks, you guys are great. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to probably close out with both. Sometimes I kick the person out and then finish, but you just stay here.
Okay.
Thank you, Lillian. Thank you. That was
Thank
awesome.
you. This is so much fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Everybody, I'm going to be doing another interview on this show in 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks. And it's going to be Philip Paley, who's also known as Chaka from Land of the Lost. The original, not that Will Smith crap. Or not Will Smith, Will Ferrell. Yeah, I'm going to be interviewing him via Zoom. Yes, Gabba Gabba Hey is right.
Yeah.
Ramones is a mindset for me, not a band that I listen to. And so I am eternally in the Gabba Gabba Hey realm.
Yeah.
Folks, if you like this show, share it, hit like, hit subscribe. Yes, we can do donations. They're good when they come in. It's funny, I get a lot offline now. People see the reruns, which is cool. Oh, look, here we go. Helen Metropolis threw in a 20. Thank you, Helen. I think this was from the other day. Anywho, it's Monday. It's my favorite day of the week. Literally, I get the week rolling, I get it moving, and I get a bunch of stuff done early on Monday. And I get to do this with you guys, and I get to hang out with you today. And yeah, Mondays rule. So I'm going to be back here live, I believe, next Monday. There is a small chance I'll do one on Friday. I don't know yet. I'm working on it now. But I got some crazy stuff in the works. And for those of you that read my essays, I might take a month off and work on finishing one of my books. I need to crank it now. I'm one of those guys that's always saying when the iron's hot, you hit harder. You don't relax. You go harder.
Yep.
And right now, my writing has been, I'm getting better at it and faster, and I have a system. So I might take a month off of my essays because I do try to make them say something. I don't like writing bullshit. I try to make it mean something. So, anywho, thank you, William. Peace, people. I'm going to take us out with the outro, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you. Yeah, you do. Monday and mornings. I like mornings. When I wake up, I'm excited to get out of bed. I told somebody the other day, the greatest thing about pretending like you're going to die in 2 years is the morning. If you knew you were going to croak in 2 years, would you sleep in?
No.
No way!
No.
You'd get out of bed like, wow, I got shit to do.
Yep.
That's how I wake up. When I wake up, I go, I'm wasting
Yeah.
time sleeping here.
Yeah.
I used to take long showers too. Now I don't. I'm either working on something in the shower, like dialogue,
Yeah.
or I get out.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nothing to do. I'm just like,
know.
all right, I'm gonna stand here and do nothing. I have shit to do.
I know. I'm very existential, so that's why I knew what I wanted to do when I was 6.
Yeah, that's why we get along.
I grew up in a small town. I'm like,
Me
life
too.
is so short. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Get with
And
it.
I was like, I'm moving to New York, and that's what I'm doing.
Hang out with the right people.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
what I'm
thank
doing.
you, Peter. Thank you. Peter Benedetti is a very, very good artist. I
Oh.
mean, literally one of my favorite New York artists. Hands down, Peter. I can't wait to see some of your stuff in gallery stuff soon. And there's gallery shows out here. We should talk. Yeah, Surf Club does gallery shows.
Yep.
Wit does stuff too sometimes.
Yep.
We got to talk. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, everybody. Everybody in here right now. Thank you for being here. I hope you have an awesome week. I'm going to take us out with the outro trailer. And party on, Wayne. Party on, Lillian.
Party on.